welcome back, everyone, to session 8 of Occupation, almost an invasion. Today, we are diving into kind of the aftermath. This will be our first faction round as well, kind of showcasing what the group's faction, as well as the rest of the galaxy, gets up to after their latest success. So let's dive right in. We'll do a little bit of a recap. The crew just successfully finished their latest mission, assassinations and acquisitions. They were hired by the Hutts to make their way to Dom Bradan and do two very important things. The first one is the Hutts wanted to send a message. They were tired of the Yuzon Vogue and their recent encroach into the Hutt space, and as only Hutts can do, they decided the best way is to kill someone and kill them publicly. So they hired the group with Val kind of liaising or making the contact to take out the Yuzon Vol commander that has been leading some of the forays into Hutt space, assassinating Breck Pell. And the group was a little hit and miss, or touch and go, we should say. They were able to successfully kill Breck Pell. And I was blanking. I was trying to remember on my way back home. Who got the killing blow on that? Was it Val or was it Malachi?
It was C4.
Was it C4?
Yep, and C4 recorded that and plans on using it for some kind of merchandising or propaganda, something to make himself look better.
Nice.
The coward droid.
I knew you guys recorded it. I in my head was like, it was Val or C4, but Val or Lord Malachi. But that C4 took down the commander. I know Malachi did behead him afterwards, as Val wrote a message from the Hutts. You guys successfully killed Breck Pell, and we'll get into your escape just a bit later. But before they killed Commander Breck Pell, the other part of their mission, the Hutts learned that the Aroidium Mutts, a pretty storied kind of mercenary unit, they've got a reputation for honoring their contracts, professional gear, professional kind of outlook. Definitely the mercs that you'd want to hire when Poodoo gets real. We're debating taking a contract with the Exchange and thus the Yuzon Vong invaders, since the Exchange is pretty much their pawns. But the group was tasked with potentially trying to persuade the Aurodium Mutts to hopefully join the Hutts and provide defense for them, or at the very least, just not take the contract with the Exchange. The group, in some pretty stellar RP, was able to convince their captain Onamas Vin to not only abandon the Yuzon Vong, but to join the Hutt cartel in their defense, recruiting the Aroidium Mutts for the Hutt cartels, and even having them based out of the group's own home station, Defonda Station. And with that, the group was able to successfully kill the commander of Breck Pell, recruit the Aroidium Mutts, but it was a little touch and go as they were leaving because they came in pretty loud with Vars using some explosives. I forgot what type, but blowing in the chamber of Commander's ship as it landed, but coming through, killing him, alerting the forces on the ground. Vars went down. It was looking pretty dire, but the group did escape. Though some escaped faster than others, with C4 being the first at the ship, leaving a bit ahead of his comrades, we'll say. And that's where we'll pick up. So, Vars, you are back conscious. You are on the Aroidium Mutt shuttle. And this is basically like a little commander shuttle. Definitely something that's equipped to be quick. Can take a hit, but it's not really meant to like scrap it out in a fight. But you guys are fortunately in the safety of hyperspace. You see the blue lines, the stars kind of elongated behind you. Is there anything you all want to do now that you've made it out, say?
So who wants to give it to you?
I volunteer as tribute. So Malachi will find kind of, I guess, refresher area and just kind of clean up the blood off of himself. Admire the new rips in the robes because they only add to the aesthetic. And then put his mask back on, and he will go straight for the droid. And hopefully, we can say that it's when his back is to him that he'll come out, he'll look directly for the droid, and C4, you will suddenly feel your feet come off the ground, and you will just slowly turn in the air, and you're facing Malachi, and I will push you up against the wall. Droid.
Coming in really hot.
Yeah. So C4, in the middle of editing out all of the things that would make him look like a coward, but he just recorded. It's just like, is there turbulence in space? What's happening? Boom! It's like,
so C4, I will put it to you. Do you want to make a save, or does that happen?
If C4 makes a save against this, I feel like it should be made with disadvantage because he was not expecting this in the slightest. Even from like the Sith, this caught him very off guard.
Well, I don't, just so you know, Tegan, I don't plan on doing any sort of damage here. This is just going to be some harsh words.
Depending how C4 reacts, it might end up being some damage.
So C4, I'll leave it to you if you want to make the save with disadvantage. If you don't want to make the save, it's up to you.
No, I'd say C4 was very caught unawares, just to keep this rolling.
Huh?
Droid, you are not immune to the consequences of poor decision making. Your pathetic existence continues only because you are a product of our Zerka benefactor.
He drops you and you fall to the ground, and he turns.
There won't be a second chance.
Rude. I mean, and you see him stop for a moment, like he's gonna say something, but there's a genuine, little wince, little twinge of fear, where normally he would aggravate, he antagonize, he bites his lip, and he kind of shuffles off a little bit, but keeping Malachi just within view. He's a bit on edge now.
Val, Vars, how do you guys react?
I'll say Vars is slow to react because he's still recovering from nearly dying. Val, anything?
Say it out loud, Val.
Just to confirm, Tegan, we were told by the crew the intentions of what C4 was trying to do, right?
You were told that C4 did try to convince the crew to leave.
It's less about his leaps and bounds and ditching us from ship to ship. It's more about the intent of leaving us behind with nothing, no escape. Like a literal abandonment versus, there's the coward move, but the abandonment part is really what it's all about.
He tried to leave the party for dead.
The droid left me on a planet with a blade in my hand. How could he have left me for dead?
that's a dope line. I'm going to be real. That's
The dope line is perfectly Val.
No.
And did Val say that one out loud? Because C4 would jump on that like, yeah, look, see?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's still kind of talking to himself a little bit.
Exactly.
We'll take that into consideration next time that we run into a situation like this.
Well, I guess to finally chime in after taking in what's going on around him, Vars is going to slowly get to his feet from what I'm assuming is a resting position and walk over to C4. Is C4 a big droid?
Let me. I think I wrote down his height somewhere. No, I did not. C4 is like a standard human size.
Vars ain't.
Oh yeah.
Vars is a big boy. So Vars is going to essentially tower over this droid. I want to say 6'6", 6'5", without the armor. I'm just a big fella. And he's going to just look him up and down and say, I was willing to treat you as an equal. But now, I don't know if it's they programmed you with cowardice or selfishness. But you're little more than an unreliable tool. Know your place.
Yes, my place as a Zerka ambassador, diplomat. My place as a mercenary. Self-preservation is integral to me, and from what I saw, what you escaped was damn near impossible. By all logics, by all probabilities, I truly thought you were all dead. Let me just toss something out real fast. In case anyone wants to insight that.
Of course you made that assumption. You never bothered to look behind you. Either way, Zerka's goodwill is the only reason you're not pushed out an airlock or nothing but a fizzling in a scrap heap somewhere.
Duly noted, my good friend. I will make certain in the future, when that situation comes again, I will be the one carrying you on my shoulder rather than leaving it to Val.
Yeah, sure. Thanks again, Val. And with that, he'll just storm off. He's weighing the pros and cons of, can I punch a droid to death?
And C4 would kind of start to lean on the wall, tap it lightly as anyone who's watching him definitely sees. He kind of understands the gravity of the situation. He fucked up a little bit. His reputation caught up with him with the mutts. These guys are no joke. They survived, and he's lucky to still be alive right now. And he's C4, a droid, no less, is actually seen shaking in his boots.
So Val just kind of shrugs and walks off and kind of still talking to himself. Vars is a warrior at heart, but he doesn't understand a droid cannot have honor. How can you scold a droid for no honor? He is a droid. And then he just kind of continues on. And then he's like, he thinks that I saved him. He is a true warrior. He should only die a warrior's death with a blade through his heart. Maybe Val's blade. He just wanders off.
What the the hell did I sign up for? Yep, that's far as just droid left me for dead. This one's like, maybe I'll be the one that kills
like
you.
from all of this just popping up on the screen, C4 will remember this.
And it's the Sith that healed you and protected you while you were.
Yeah.
Right of all things. God, I feel like that scene in Jurassic Park with like, it's the blood-sucking lawyer that's on my side. Like, it's the seething Sith that's got my back. Okay, I'll take it.
I've said this before, but I really feel like Varus has like a picture of the old crew. It like has that Wolverine meme.
That simpler times.
Sure, they were crazy, and there's a drug addict in there, but
Nobody left you for dead, or nobody tried to, or mention putting a blade through your heart. We'll say,
yeah.
But he only meant it in the most honest of ways.
Yeah, and I mean, Dash was dangerous, but it wasn't like malicious. It was just he was volatile, like an explosive. Well, that's it for me.
I'm giving you guys 2 points of inspiration. Really liked 2 lines over there. Vars, you didn't look back. Sick. Val, I loved your line earlier as well. That was just perfectly Val. Sweet. But you guys are able to kind of spend the rest of the time on. This is probably the most awkward hyperspace trip you've ever taken. Like, the Eroidian mutts are kind of not avoiding you. There's like 3 of them on board the ship, but they saw this whole confrontation go down, and they are just. They don't want to fight with you guys. They don't want to be caught up in any of your drama. Sith Lords, Mandalorians, Togorians, and droids aren't really known for their view on neutrality, we'll say. So a lot of people are used to being caught in the crossfire when these types of people go off, and the Roidin mutts are just kind of giving you guys your space, give you free run of the ship as you guys spend the next 3 days in hyperspace, making your way back to defend the station.
I will say C4 during this trip with the Roidin mutts would occasionally try and get on the good side, like, hey, we're going to the Zerka station. You wouldn't want to appear there without their favorite droid now, would you? Kind of deal. I imagine it never goes well, never amounts to much.
It's not going to go well, but we want to see how well it goes. Make a persuasion check with disadvantage. It's going to be a -D4 as well. Because you've pulled the same trick on the Eroidian mutts.
And let me get that D4. Yeah, they ain't falling for that shit.
You see one guy kind of like hears you out. Like the other guys, like when you start talking, like your Pudu, like they just start walking on. This one guy, like this overly polite Rhodian, like will just sit there and like listen to you for a bit, and then he gets like chewed out by the other guys, and then like just will avoid you the rest of the trip. You hear this kind of Zabrak go, Griffin bucket of bolts. You don't leave people behind. That's one of the Roidian Mutts rules. You don't leave Griffin people behind. And you're a Griffin too, and you're not even people. You shouldn't leave real people.
You understand. By my very design and programming, I'm better than real people. How many languages can you speak?
I speak restraining bolt.
Noted. What? Like immediately like turns away. Just.
But outside of some awkwardness with the Rhodian mutts, with the Rhodians still looking awkward, the Zabrak glaring at C4 for the remainder of the 3 days in hyperspace. Oh, one last question for C4. I know you were editing a package, not a package, I should say, editing a clip of your endeavors. Did you post that clip to the Holonet before you went to hyperspace?
He if it was finished editing by that time, yeah, of C4 looking like a damn hero when he clearly was. For anyone who was actually there.
So C4, I'm gonna ask the last question here, because this is a galactic event. How did you portray the rest of the Tefanda Station crew? So,
he would
hopefully,
have portrayed Val very honorably and valiantly, because he's traveling with these people. He, like when he was first working on this, was probably on planet when he first started recording, so he half expected these people to be dead, to be like, oh, look at these valiant heroes. Val was portrayed very very nicely because C4 likes Val. Varus was portrayed as standard Mandalorian, what you kind of expect him to be in the galaxy, and this one might get C4 some shit, but I don't think Malachi would have showed up at any point. I don't think he would have put Malachi in the video, because given his reputation with Siths, he wouldn't just cut them out.
all right. So just to recap, so Val gets the hero edit. He's probably the time when he stole a grenade off of a guy's belt, and then used that grenade to blow some poodoo up. Bars, standard Mandalorian shit's just really pretty much just badass killing stuff. So that's, and then did he edit Malachi out of
Yes.
different events?
No, like it's either zoomed in or something. If there's lightning, there might be some lightning from off screen.
You know Malachi knows force lightning, and you're a droid.
Yeah, he does. And the thing is, he has an excuse, but I know out of character, he's probably not going to get the chance to say his excuse. That being like, oh, your face was in frame.
Oh yeah, you have to
was
ask
easier.
for
You-
3/4
you
of the adventure.
Yeah.
You could just say, "Hey, Tegan, I want to reroll a character." I mean, there's easier ways to go about it.
If C4
The question
Wait,
is,
do you want a new character? So
now, considering Malachi's condition, can he even see the vid?
Oh, that's a good point.
Probably not.
Because I'm thinking like Daredevil, right? Like that kind of sort of like I can see everything except.
Well, he can see
pixels,
holograms.
Yeah, you can't see holograms.
I mean, I don't know if you've ever played the old KOTOR games, but you can actually, like, when you're switching between characters, example, Lisa's Mar, you can use you can switch to the vision to see like first person view, and she's able to see, but she sees like the aura and everything.
No,
And
I know, but it's like this is a recording, right? So it's on a screen.
Doesn't give off.
probably be like super grayscale, very plain. I don't know.
So I think that's a yes. Malachi could see it just being very low quality.
I mean, it depends on how technical we really want to get into this. It's not that important to me, but Malachi doesn't care.
C4 survives yet another mistake.
Our team has an objective, and while Malachi may not like some or all, who knows, all of the people, he is simply doing what he has been commanded to do, and doing as much as he can to self-serve himself in the process as well. Though those options and events have not really provided themselves lately, but nonetheless, he's bidding his time.
All right. Well, you guys make it through the 3 days of hyperspace with the Aurodium mutts. Undisturbed, you guys make it out of the Yuzon Vong territory within the first day, and then the hyperspace journey for the rest of the way back to the Fonda station is just pretty much smooth sailing. Making your way back as you guys dock upon the Fonda station, you guys see, like before when you docked, it was pretty much just droids and occasionally the very rare Zerka personnel that was in the hangars or kind of around. But as you guys dock, you see kind of an array of the Iridium Mutts kind of standing outside of your hangar bay with Captain Anomalous Finn in the middle of them. And you guys kind of see them clapping and cheering as you all make your way back on station. And kind of deboard the plane. And as you guys look up, you do see a bit of the clip that was posted to the HoloNet, kind of showing off some of the crew's endeavors, showing the decapitation. Even though it's out of frame, who decapitated him? You all know that was Lord Malachi. That severed the dead head of the commander, and you see the message left behind by Val, and you see that it's been playing across the HoloNet, and I don't know how much Val would pay attention to this to know, but depending on how much he pays attention to what the Hutts get up to, he's pretty confident if he pays attention that once it got posted, not only Zerka boosted this with some propaganda, the Hutts did. The Hutts wanted to be let pretty much the galaxy know that they have assets that can strike behind enemy lines, and these assets are pretty much the best in the galaxy. So you see this is played across the HoloNet, just view after view, probably even some bot views in there too, as they're trying to get more and more people to see that the Yuzon Vong, while formidable, while devastating, while pretty much brutalizing the rest of the galaxy, they're not untouchable. And you see that kind of playing across as the Iridium Mutts greet you guys back on the ship.
Yeah, so Val kind of getting off the ship would kind of see the video, and he just like kind of, droid, yeah, you actually have a talent. You captured the essence of this team very well. And he would just kind of move on.
C4, knowing full well he did not tell Malachi, just says, I couldn't agree more, and keeps walking. The best part about this is that C4 didn't even get the chance to see the fact that Malachi was the one who saved Bars. Malachi absolutely pulled his weight there.
Bars is just gonna make his way in. Just make his way in.
Where'd you get?
Malachi will do the same. He won't acknowledge any of the cheers or anything. Just quiet, hunched over, and side by side with the Mandalorian.
Perfect. As you guys make your way through the crowd, eventually you do come across this kind of stubby-legged hollow projector with the expansive view of a hut upon it. As you all kind of walk through, you see Big Boss Granick, the Silgic, Val's contact, and you kind of see him smoking a cigar, the smoke kind of clouding the holocam. Val, you see kind of he was like looking through the hollow projector, like his image kind of shifting as he was looking for the crew through the signs of applause and all of that. But as Val, you see as he sees you, a genuine smile kind of goes across the big Hutt's face, and he looks at you. He goes, deep kind of booming voice goes, Val, my boy, you did it. You not only did you make your way on a crazy enemy planet, you the hunter of hunters, you killed the commander and you brought back our friends. You gotta see him like clap his little stubby hands. Val, hunter of hunters.
And Val will give a little nod. Yes, Val did well. But I have to admit, we actually have one other warrior in this group, and he isn't that bad either. He's not Val, but he's not bad.
You see Granick looks confused. He's looking from Val, like he looks Tavares to Malachi, kind of glances at C4, and then back to Tavares, Malachi, and he kind of leans in with the hollow projector and goes, usually Val, I don't like naming names, but
Oh, yes. Val is sorry. Val, you must not understand, Boss Granick. And you point to Vars and go, the Mandalorian warrior. He doesn't have the true understanding of honor, but he is a man of honor at heart and a true warrior. And then I'll point to the droid and I'll say, and we have a droid. And the magic wielder.
You see, like, his eyes kind of like flex for like a bit, like the big hut eyes go a little bit wider. And he goes, Val, he's a little blunt, but he's a hunter of hunters. The Sith, I didn't see in the video, but I am sure you were there choking and killing. But that's a story for another day. I made you all a couple promises.
42 seconds in, you can clearly see the lightning hitting the chair.
We all played our part, so to speak.
That you did. But hey, I made some promises, and I'm a hut of my word. I said if you were able to go through and kill the commander, I would upgrade the security on your station, provide you guys with some much-needed resources. I said if you were able to go through and actually bring the Aroidian mutts home, make sure to bring these kind of. You guys see him like he's about to say something. No insight roll need. He's going to say something probably derogatory about him. Looks around to the Aroidian mutts about him. It says these esteemed warriors back into the fold. I'll hook you up my own smuggling network. You all need to find something a little more lethal. He looks to Vars, or even a little exotic, a little something forcey. He looks over to Malachi. You call me. You call Big Boss Granick. I'll make sure you're taken care of.
I can only imagine we're gonna need a number of things before this is through.
I couldn't agree more. Thank you for your patronage.
No. Thank you all. This video is trending. The Huts send their regards. It's playing across the HoloNet. People know the Huts mean business and that we got friends. You all did it. So if you all need something, you let me know. I'll use my network to find it. The price is the price, but hey, we'll find it for you.
And please do keep in mind, your friends who set that video up to be played across the HoloNet, if you ever need anything of true high standard quality, Zerga can provide.
Yeah, I see why they put you in the videos. You're a salesman, a real salesman. But you kind of see him look across and see that Val's the only one that's kind of smiling, and not smiling. Val's the only one that looks content when you speak. And he goes, friends are good too. Sales friends. Nobody likes a shiv in the back. Or a spark of lightning, if you know what I'm saying.
All too well.
But hey, you did it. You guys came through. I'm going to send my resources over. Not so fine that you guys had the Aroidian mutt stationed out of the base versus Nalhutta. But hey, beggars can't be choosers.
Yes. Thank you, boss. Val is much appreciative of your patronage.
I don't think I forgot about you. I'm gonna send that, our usual fee. Don't say it out loud, but I'm gonna send that right to you.
Yes, the Val special price. I appreciate that.
Yes. Special and secret. Special.
In secret. Yes, boss.
But with that, you do see Boss Graddock's hollow disappear. The little droid clanks off. Aurora and Mutts cheer you guys on. And we are going to get into our first kind of faction round for the Occupation Adventure. So I'm going to throw some rules into the chat. Oh, where did I put that? So, base rules, I threw some stuff in, but I will explain it as we go to. So, you guys have 2 weeks of downtime. So, you can spend those 2 weeks doing stuff with your faction, doing stuff for yourself. You guys just got Boss Graddock's connection with the Heart Cartels, which means now you no longer have to do the searching phase for enhanced item. I'm blanking what I think it's a prototype or below. I have to look that up real quick, but there's something or below for that. So you guys don't have to do that phase. But with this faction round, things are going to be happening. You can help your faction in a number of different ways. Because with this, the Yuzon Vong, the galaxy as a whole will be acting. There'll be chances for you guys to decide to assist your faction with invasions, espionage, different pieces there, helping to defend or attack, depending on kind of where your character's motives lie. And with these ways, there'll be ways you can kind of boost your faction up or even boost the group's faction. Because to find the station as a whole has their own little faction. Right now, you guys don't have. You guys have like a half a D10 die with your actions. We can even boost that up further if you guys decide to do actions to enhance your group, the party's faction versus your own factions. But seriously, completely up to you guys where you guys want to go. With these downtime factions or downtime activities, it could lead to uptime missions, or it could just be kind of things you guys get up to on your own within your factions, because you guys are all, even though sometimes it boggles the mind, respected members within your organizations, leaders of men, definitely people that can call upon the resources and help turn the tide of a battle. So with that, I threw some rules into the factions. So each of your guys' factions has 40-10. To find a station right now, you guys are on your way to your own D10. With that too, let me mention this as well. To find a station, you guys, this will have to be a group decision. Now I'm going to kind of go over what the scenarios are in a second. But you can lend to find a station to one of your factions' efforts right now. So, if, for instance, if you guys wanted to help the Mandalorians with the Yuzon Vong invading into their territory, you could say to find a station and their resources jumped in, which would give you an extra D6 to roll with your D10s, try to hopefully get D8, sorry, to roll with your D10s to hopefully get a 6 or better on that. Sweet. So this will be, unfortunately, a little bit of exposition, but who wants to go first with it? Who wants to hear what's happening with their faction first?
I will take it this time. I usually do not go first, but this time I
Usually
shall.
no, yeah. So C4. So with this, you all. So this is, and let me kind of explain a little bit further, even too. So these are going to be the events that are happening with the Yuzon Vong with your faction, where your group can make, or you, I should say, you or to find a station can make a difference. So there's going to be other things that are happening on that. The Yuzon Vong are invading across the galaxy. Some of those battles will just be lost. This is where your presence, your endeavors could actually make a difference and turn the tide of the battle. But with Zerka, you all get a kind of an update from the president himself as you guys, or as you've kind of made your way back on station. Zerka has a pretty expansive droid factory on Banadan within the corporate sector of Zerka. Churns out battle droids, security droids, protocol droids. Pretty much, it just churns out droids. It's probably the chief rival of Geonosis and the other droid-producing factions of the galaxy. And there's intel that the Exchange maybe trying to put some operatives on planet to destroy the factory, sabotage it in some way, basically just put this factory out of its commission. These intel has been popping up all over. Zerka has been trying their best to kind of root it out, but so far they haven't found anything, and they floated it towards your desk. So you kind of get a hollow message going on that Bonodon is not under attack, but under threat. Orange alert for Bonodon as these threats come in. Is that something C4 would be interested in? And remember, you guys have 2 weeks of downtime. You could spend a week trying to help your faction with this, or you could spend your time doing whatever the other Star Wars 5e downtimes are. If you do help your faction, I posted the strengthening the faction rules as well. You would get a bonus on that side towards kind of getting another die for your faction.
All right, so C4, as established earlier, C4 views other droids as inferior to him. However, he does understand that most people lump him with other droids, and he has to correct that. So, he can see it now, the headline of Zerka's best droid saves the droid manufacturing plant, roots out espionage and evil. Espionage, evil, and the exchange, triple E's, great alliteration. The story you can string with that. He's less concerned about the droids and Zerka's bottom line than he is with his own public image, and he knows this can help it greatly. So yeah, for his own personal downtime, he's very much interested in that.
Perfect. So C4, how would you go about trying to sniff out where these exchange infiltrators are and protecting the droid factories on Bonodon?
That is a good question. How would C4 do that? I feel like he would infiltrate it himself, separately, so the factory would not know about it. As shown before, he can make himself for very short amounts of times look like another person, like truly disguise himself. Maybe a little problems with the voice, but overall, have C4, basically like going deep undercover, spying on everything that's going on there. Maybe occasionally trying to pass himself off as one of the droids in the manufacturing plant, trying to see if there's any tampering or modification. A little bit brave for C4, but he's got good feelings about it, especially if he keeps himself away from restraining bolts.
All right. So C4, your choice here. So we're gonna make a roll. Hold on. Feeling a lot better. Still fighting a cough though. So your choice of 3 different rolls. We're gonna handle this like regular downtime rolls. We're gonna have some more exposition things with it though. Gotta see how this plays out. But you have 3 different skills you can play from here. You're trying to be stealthy, infiltrate this facility. You can use stealth. You're trying to fool people into thinking that you're just. Actually, I should clarify. Are you trying to fool them into thinking you're a regular droid, or are you thinking like you're like a regular Joe?
A little bit of both. Jumping between different things, but probably in the very beginning, average Joe inspector comes, leaves, but that's just to get how he gets in. From then on, a droid. So, probably leaning into like an average droid.
Okay. So, deception, or if you're trying to, if he's trying to like pass himself off as the average Joe, the average droid, trying to deceive people and seeing what intel he can pick up. Or insight. If he's trying to kind of more observe, hide himself as the average droid, and try to read people as they go by and seeing kind of who may not really be a Zerka employee and who may be a plant or may be there to harm the operations on Bonodon.
I think C4 would definitely go for deception if he's
Alright.
doing this espionage style. So just a normal roll?
Straight up roll for deception.
Yeah, that's. Hey! That's pretty good.
20. So, that is going to be a plus 15 on your D100 roll. Before we get into that, I'll let you kind of narrate this part. So, how does C4 kind of utilize his sneaky, deceptive skills to ferret out some of the exchange, or to not ferret out, but to at least uncover their plot? It's not a sure guarantee he's going to stop the plot, but at least he's able to use his deception to gain wind of it.
So, acting as a regular droid in the factory, sometimes being on the manufacturing line, sometimes working on it, because I imagine they got droids building droids there. Just jumping from place to place, listening in on whatever employee's doing what, while being very inconspicuous. But also, C4's got history with the exchange, and he's a bit older, we should say. So he kind of knows how these things usually go down, what their moves might be in this kind of case. So he'll be applying that older knowledge to this to kind of weed out the most likely places they talk, they go, especially since, again, he's familiar with Zerka. He might know a little bit about the facility itself, download a little bit, like some of the nooks and crannies before he went in there. I'd probably say the goofiest place he ended up hiding once was straight up in the vents one time watching people.
So as you hide in the vents, you catch this Nikto and Roydian. And you see like these guys, like it looks like they may have had like some plastic surgery, or they may have tried to cover it up, but you see you see remnants of scars, like those real like cosmetic scars, we'll say, that you saw some of the other exchange rock trying to appease the Yuzon Vong invaders. And you catch them kind of beginning a conversation talking about how they plan to upload both a virus to catch the droid, or to upload a virus into the battle and security lines of droids to turn them against the citizens of Bonadon, to try to create mistrust of the droids. And you got to hear that all go down. What do you do as you hear that go down, or hear them discussing that from your poach in the vent?
Firstly, he's recording it, and secondly, he's figuring out a plan to stop them. Like, oh no, a virus that can make droids hostile? He's susceptible to that. So now it's his own skin more on the line. Like, oh no, this could hurt my reputation. So he's laser focused on this. All right, now he's probably going to end up killing these guys.
Perfect. Well, roll me a D100. You rolled a 20 plus 15.
All right. Oh no.
36. All right. So let me explain a couple things here too. I posted this into the chat for viewers as well. So he's got to do with aiding his faction downtime routine. Oh, he got 36, so that's good, or better than I thought it was. So there's 4 different levels you can have on that. 30 or below, you lose a faction die. 31 to 70, you get to actually re-roll one of your faction dies to see how this activity comes out for you. 71 to 100, you get a +1, +2, and the re-roll and all that. But you got that 31, so you get a re-roll. So what we're gonna do right now is it's gonna be the exchange versus the Yuzon Vong. So the exchange, the exchange not versus Yuzon, the exchange versus Zerka. So luckily the exchange has a little bit of a dice disadvantage to Zerka. And you get to re-roll one of your D10s. And right now, we'll kind of a little bit of narration. C4, did you kill those guys?
He probably killed all but one of them, because he needs to have someone alive to test how cool he looked. And like the fact they had no idea C4 was amongst them. And maybe some interrogation, but mostly for C4's own personal image.
that's how like, you get some information out, but you focus grouped him more than interrogated him. You asked more questions about like how badass does this look? Would you prefer if I did it this way? What should we post to the HoloNet? And like, oh, what are you guys doing? But back to what looks best. And that's why you got a little bit of a middling result there. But roll me 4d10. You get to re-roll one of your choice. I'm going to roll 3d10 for the exchange. Remember, 6s and above are successes.
Come on, 6 and oh no, oh no! I don't think it's. Wait, no, that
Yeah,
0 means 10.
Yeah, so solid roll there.
I'll re-roll that.
You get to re-roll the 2. It doesn't even matter though. Yeah, so how does C4 pull this out of his ass when he like did a terrible job initially?
Well, it really comes down to initially it was just like, yeah, this will be a milk run. This is the exchange. I know how these guys work too. I might fucking die. So it goes from like C4 trying to C4 I don't want to die. If that works right there, of him being genuinely concerned, like he's susceptible to this virus, he's susceptible to people becoming distrustful droids, which means less money, less jobs, and less publicity. And if he falls under, especially of Zerka, he does not want to turn into an obsolete model. How he pulls it out of his ass is he just puts his nose to the grindstone at the very end, just does everything he can, really.
Perfect. Well, you put your nose to the grindstone, you hunt down these leads. You find that the exchange team had both a commando team in place, but a team of slicers there, ready to just put this malignant code into the droids and have them kind of ready to spread across the planet, just causing havoc. They had teams ready to record this and just really spread it across the galaxy, fueling the hatred of droids and sucking up a little bit to the Yuzong Vong masters. But fortunately, C4, you were there and you were able to put a stop to it. Quite a bit of showboating, quite a bit of HoloNet recording, probably some live streams on there too. But you were able to root out the cause and bring these guys down and stop the droid uprising from taking place.
Is it possible, real fast, is it possible for C4 to save that virus? Just for rainy day, because you just said droid uprising and feel like if C4 at any point heard the word droid uprising, he'd be like, might need to keep this.
Give me a slicers check.
C4 is actually proficient in that.
It's gonna be a decent check. It's gonna be a DC 30. So let me know how you do. I'll be right back.
I got 20. I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys get and how you handle it, if this is what C4 is getting. I think it's going to be really cool.
Yeah, I'm curious to see where it goes.
Sweet. How'd you roll?
20.
20? Fortunately, you're able to recover fragments of this code. You can spend some downtime trying to see if you could reconfigure the rest of it to get. And just so in C4 the 20, you know, like it's a droid uprising, but this is probably better for C4. But this is not like a droid sentient uprising. This is droids being commanded to uprise and follow orders.
So he doesn't have to worry about lesser processors making mistakes.
It was one of those. I'm like, as I thought about it, this is probably what C4 would prefer. But overall, it's a good outing for you. You even with let's say some unprofessionalism in the beginning, you are able to stop the droid uprising and keep the Zerka and droid reputation safe while earning some publicity for yourself. So with that, you did some faction downtime work. I'm going to post these all after we're done. So Zerka, you got, unfortunately, you rolled real bad on your D100 roll, but still beat the thing. So you get 1 success for your faction. And with that, if you get 9 successes, you can increase your faction die. And that includes your guys' own home faction, too, in case you wanted to do something for it to find the station. But with that, we're going to switch gears. Who wants to... and also, I should mention this earlier. I think I mentioned it before, but too, you guys do have the to find the station die, in case you want to add that towards one of your factions. Unfortunately, the 3 of the other guys, Vars, Val, Malachi, you guys do have you guys are going to have to get Vong versus the Exchange, so you do have a little bit of a harder time. So this would be the time, if you're one of you 3, I would say, will be the one that you probably want to add that to find the station die too. But who wants to go next?
Malachi will, sure.
All right. So yeah, you make your way back to find the station. Eventually, you see Lord kind of get some time to relax, but you get a hollow message from Lord Gallivan. You see them Tolan Sith kind of appear on your screen, deep golden eyes, swirling tentacles, pretty much immaculately ordained robes. You see kind of playing into the black and gold coloring of the Dominion, and you see him kind of look at you and go, Lord Malachi, we've heard rumors that the Master Shaper Nim Yin has a new bioweapon, a new cowardly tactic that she wishes to deploy against Sullust. Malachi, I know I don't have to tell you this, but Sullust is one of our prime shipyards. We cannot allow the Celestians to succumb to their own weakness and fail to perform to make new ships for us. The war effort against the Vong and eventually the rest of the galaxy is far too important. I need you to sniff out where this attack is coming from and to stop it. We cannot allow a bioweapon to be unleashed upon our people.
I couldn't agree more. Release me from these fools and allow me to do what I do best, my lord.
Do what must. We need. Sullust cannot be allowed to fall, and they cannot especially be allowed to fall to a virus. If they want to take the planet for us, they must pay the blood price. We will pour ships. We will pour the Celestians themselves on them. Blood and lives for the Dominion. Show them that their cowardice will not suffice for a true Sith.
Blood and lives, my lord. It will be done. And Malachi will immediately gather what Dominion forces that he can and starts to move towards that area of Sullust and find where this imminent threat is at.
Perfect. And for any, I should have just rebutted on too, but for anybody that is looking on the standard galactic map, and for our players who have it up on their Foundry, Sullust is over here. It's like M17. So kind of close to Yuzon Vong space on one of the main hyperspace routes. but the Celestians are definitely known for being very competent shipbuilders. So with that, you gather some you gather Dominion forces with you and make your way out to the planet. Because with this, and actually, how does Malachi go about this? This isn't like an invading army. This is definitely some more, let's say, espionage type pieces. They're the Master Shaper Nemyin, the one responsible for creating the Voxen and other horrors that have been unleashed upon the galaxy. All you know is she has some new bio weapon that she wishes to deploy on Sullust. How would Malachi gotta go about stopping that?
I think with my experience prior, and my other past engagements with the Yuzong Bong, that I think I might have just a little bit of insight into how they would approach, or maybe the potential routes that they would take. So less relying completely on myself, but rather assisting those that might be utilizing ships, or maybe some remote outposts that we could have in the galaxy, reaching out to all of our connections. I would provide my insight along with whatever intelligence that I could gather in the short period of time that I have.
Definitely. So with that, kind of same situation. You have three different checks you can choose from. You could choose from insight, kind of relying on your own kind of sense of feel, the force maybe, as well as just kind of your own dealings with the Yuzon Vong, to see if you can find any of their old patterns and see if any of those may be relevant towards their actions on Sullust. We could also do investigation as well, kind of pouring through the data, seeing kind of where and when, from your past experience, they may try to insert something on the Sullust. Or you can even do lore. You've had some interactions. You've been up close and personal with the Yuzon Vong in a number of different ways. You could kind of utilize your own lore skill to kind of see what you remember about them and see how we can piece that together to best protect Sullust.
Yeah, between those three options, it's very obvious which one I'd want to use. But definitely insight, as I kind of just stand over the shoulder of some Imperial intelligence officer and watch and say, no, move your scanners in this direction. And I check back on various pieces of intelligence and scraps, and I take every single bit that comes to me, and I tell them that even if they think it's not important, I want to hear it. And taking all these pieces, I do as best as I can to kind of narrow it down. So,
Perfect.
Perfect. Good insight.
Solid, yeah. With kind of leaning on the Dominion intelligence, kind of using both your own reputation and natural intimidating presence, as well as kind of just running all of the data through yourself. You are able to kind of find some bits and pieces of kind of extraneous data. You find that the kind of certain pathways to Sullust have been surprisingly clear. You found that there's been some suspicious activity aboard some of the ship manufacturing, and with Sullust too. Let me bit of old expanded universe lore. They built most of their ships kind of in orbit around the planet. You do find some kind of suspicious travel logs between the planet as well as the shipyard, with more people going from the planet into the shipyards than returning home, which most of these people are kind of like day laborers, for lack of a better word. They go towards the planet, they go up to the shipyard, they go home at the end of their shift, but the shifts aren't matching up. And you kind of find like between the ship, like the space lanes being clearer from Yuzon Vong threats and certain pathways that may lead to Sullust, more people on the station than you expect there to be. You definitely find that there's cause for concern and definitely a clear and present danger there.
Well, with that information, I would put a pause.
To do what?
Uh-oh.
Do we listen?
Yeah.
Yep. Well, we're waiting for him to come back because, yeah, you guys all three have a chance to use the to find the station die. Vars, Val, who wants to go next? You can kind of hear what their scenario is, and that way you can kind of make an informed decision before you roll your d10s.
Or we can jump back to Mel.
Oh, actually, there you go.
Because you're muted, Dash.
What happened?
Not Dash.
I turned off the hotspot on my phone, so I'm on that ghetto internet again. I was saying I would put a pause on all operations. I would gather each and every single worker that was on the orbital station, and we would consolidate them all into one room. And I would wait to see what happens next with whatever forces that I brought on standby waiting.
Perfect. Roll me a d100 plus. Oh, what's 15? Plus 10. All right, kind of very similar to C4 on the side. So you do get a reroll of your d10s. And it's up to the group, but I would advise you guys to hear Vars Vals. Then you guys can make a decision whether you want to add a die towards Malachi's, Vars, or Vals. Sorry. Feel perfectly fine, but that cough is still really lingering, especially when I talk about it. But yeah, so you guys do have that chance of adding that D8. Same thing, 6s or higher, from Define the Station, offering assistance there. Currently, Malachi, with your efforts of the Dominion, you're going to be going up against the Yuzon Vong's dice, but you would also have a re-roll of the 40-10 for the Dominion. So, Malachi, do you want to roll your D10 now, or does the group want to hear the other two and kind of see where they want to put Define the Station's resources?
I'll just roll my d10 now.
Okay, sweet. So roll me 40-10 and get to re-roll 1. And I'm going to roll the Yuzon Vong die.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
2 successes so far. You can re-roll that 2 or 4 and see what you can bring.
Yeah, not bad. 3.
Hey.
Nice. Great.
Hey.
Oh.
Oh. Tie?
1, 2, 3.
3. It's a tie, so it is a straight D10 roll off. And with this, since the Yuzon Vong do have a dice advantage, I am going to give you. How do we do this? Actually, it's going to be straight roll off. So straight D10 roll off. So roll me one more D10. I'll roll one more as well. Malachi, you bring home a success. So with that, you bring all of the workers upon the Celestin station, gathering all of them into one room. Your keen sense of the Force and kind of what doesn't exist in the Force proves to be pretty crucial here. You find some of the kind of a mixture of both the Intendant class, which you guys know is kind of the spy class of the Yuzon Vong. The Yuzon Vong are a very caste-based society, as well as some of their Shaper Scientist class as well. These little blobs in the Force that just don't exist. And Malachi, you're able to kind of segment these people out and kind kind of find them before they're able to enact their plan. Malachi, what does Malachi do as he encounters this and takes that down?
So as I gather all these individuals, I notice immediately. It takes a while because there's a lot of people, and um, uh, it was an immediate shutdown. So all exits, everything, and with the help of my forces, made sure nobody left the station. But uh, hundreds, thousands, however many workers gathered, but sorting them out, I made sure not to alert the intruders as they are by putting them all in the same spot so that they would know that what is this? What's going on? So I meticulously separated them, maybe putting 2 over here, 1 over there, 3 over here, and separated them out. And then I interrogated the non-threats and then the threats. But when each of those threats came into a room with me, they did not leave. And by the end of the week, the threat was neutralized, and I would give and provide a full report to Lord Galvin immediately on the success of rooting out the threat.
Nice. You efficiently and ruthlessly kind of go through these workers, finding those used on Vong that were posing a threat, and you're able to even find a little bit about what they were planning. It looks like these used on Vong had a bio weapon. And usually when people hear bioweapon, they think things that are going to be targeting organics, like viruses, flus, all of that. This bioweapon wasn't targeted towards that. This bioweapon was actually targeted towards metal. They had like almost a flesh-eating virus, but for metal. They plan to unleash upon the shipyards of Sullust and basically just have it devoured.
With that in mind, is there any potential chance that I would be able to get a sample of this virus, which I would be able to share not only with the Dominion first, but I would be a good teammate and share it with Tafanda Station and, in a sense, all the factions that are currently working and united together. Or if it's only one of the two, it'll go to the Dominion.
If you're able to get this, you're able to share it kind of with whomever and how many people you wish to. This is definitely it's gonna be challenging. So this is gonna be a DC 25 nature roll or DC 20 bioanalysis roll. See if you are able to kind of isolate and be able to safely contain and share this data with the rest of the galaxy.
Even with nature, I can't even reach a 25. But that's all I've got, so we'll do it anyways, just because. Hell yeah, I tried.
You tried. It's unstable. It's literally from another galaxy. This is something even Talos would have had to put some extra work into to be able to make sure he could secure it and be able to study or even wield it himself. But fortunately, you're not able to bring it home. But you completely stopped it from affecting Sullust. Sullust is probably the top 3 shipyards for the Dominion. This is one of their major areas where they build new ships, new things. Having them succumb to a metal-eating virus would have significantly hurt the Dominion's war efforts, and you completely put that to bed. News of your exploits kind of flood through the Dominion, as well as the kind of HoloNet of other local factions as well. And you get that even rare congratulations from Lord Galvin that was not only the extra sincere congratulations without a trace of sarcasm or condescension along with it.
This has actually been the first you could say the first real victory that Malachi has had since his unfortunate incident not too long ago.
And even you seek out a Galvin as you report back to him and go, this is good to hear. I thought after your brief stay with the Vong, we'll say, that you may have been lacking in the necessary passion. I've never been more happy to be proven wrong. Congratulations, Lord Malachi.
Thank you, Lord Galvin. And I'll cut the transmission there. Just bye.
Cut the transmission. Yeah. So far, like you guys, like especially against the Vong on that one, that was 40-10 versus 90-10. Malachi came through with a success. All that you guys are C4 versus Exchange. Malachi versus the Vong. You guys are 2 successes so far. Val, Vars, who wants to go next?
They'll go. And so we get 2 weeks, right? So we still get another action after this one.
And yeah, I should clarify that. So everybody, so I'm just doing 1 right now, but yeah, C4 of Malachi, and everybody else will have 1 additional action. And let me clarify too, you don't have to spend this in the faction action. If you wanted to do 2, whatever downtimes you wanted to do, you can definitely do so. It's completely up to you.
But the faction actions are so cool.
Yeah, I was actually going to empower our own faction, but I can spend the second week doing that.
Okay. So with yours, you get back. So actually, Val, let me ask this because Granite typically would send people that did a really good job for him. He would send them cigars, Carillion brandy, maybe even a Twilight Dancer or 2. What would Val actually appreciate Granite sending him? He's worked for Granite for years, so Greg would know that those probably wouldn't be what Val would appreciate. What would he actually want?
So probably like a new robes. People probably been around Val, so they probably know that Val's robes are always like pristine white. And obviously the robes he wears gets wore down quickly. But it always looks like so he's never into like big glamour and glitz. And yet he always looks like he has like a brand new fresh pair of robes that have never seen dirt. And so Granick would probably know that, and that would be kind of maybe his vanity.
100%. When you get back to find a station, you find not like a pristine, like just dazzlingly bright white set of robes, and you find probably right next to the robes a little card, a card that says, "Our usual payment. Congratulations, Val. You find 100 credits along with it." Gotta see like a little shish written at the end of it as well. But you do find those robes. You're able to kind of live it up for a couple of days, do whatever Val would do after a successful mission.
Running off those 100 credits. Trying not to spend them in one place.
But with that, you're able to eventually Granite does come back on the screen. And like last time you saw him, like he was gloating, he was like triumphantly smoking a cigar, big old like hut smile across like his 3 faces. And like this time he comes back, he looks stressed. He's still smoking a cigar, but before he was doing like victory puffs, and now he's like smoking like a cigarette. Like it is just like he is stressed smoking. And you come up, like he's like, Val, need a favor. The Vong aren't very happy right now. You know how you went there, you killed the boss, you guys beheaded him, wrote the Huts in the regards on the wall. Kind of pissed. They've been their high prefect, their head spy, Yaganoer. We found a poodoo ton of his operatives on Nalhutta. They've been blowing up some of our swamps. They've been adding poisons. They've been killing some of our lesser huts. Val, this can't stand. They killed a hut. That doesn't stand for the hut cartels. We need you, the hunter of all hunters. We need you to come down, hunt these criffers out, and maybe some more heads, maybe some more messages. I don't know. Kill them, make an example of them. Do what you do, Val.
At the when I get called the hunter of all hunters, he said, well, Val is the hunter of all hunters. How can I not hunt them?
This is why you're number one. We just need you to come down. We'll provide all the Nictos, the Weekways, all of our clientele species, as we say, that you need. Just come through, find them, and do what you do. I mean, if they're a good fight, take their head. If they're a bad fight, take their hands. Just make sure they can't do poodoo.
Oh, yes, Val shall help. Val shall hunt down these hunters.
Perfect. So you are like they give you like a, and to be clear for Val, they give you a ride to Now Hunter. They don't let you fly. But they pick you up. They're able to take you to Now Hunter. They do equip you with some of their usual. And Val, you've worked probably with these type of guys before. The huts like the Nictos, they like the Weekways, they like the there's another species I'm forgetting right now that typically work for the huts. But they have their own type of clientele. But these guys are hardy, not always the brightest, but they are strong, loyal, and willing to follow orders and do what needs to be done. They equip you out with that. But with that, Val, how does he try to hunt down some of these Yuzon Vong executors, these intendants, the spy class of the Yuzon Vong that have invaded Nauhada?
Yeah, so Val wouldn't necessarily try to investigate and track down where they're coming from. So instead, he would probably try to set a trap at a target. So try to ambush them when they would come in, try to find a spot they might blow up next or hit next, and then just try to ambush them.
Perfect. So with that, I'll give you same thing, 3 choices. You could do insight, kind of see where the Vong may go next, kind of where you're a hunter, kind of where the next easiest or kind of next logical prey, we'll say, would be for the huts, and kind of what would be the best message. You can insight to kind of figure that out. You can use perception, kind of just going through and kind of looking through the kind of defenses and map of Nauhada, kind of looking through where the huts are currently kind of gathered towards, and kind of see kind of which clan, which figurehead seems like the most obvious choice to strike out to. Or you can do athletics on the side. You can kind of just spread you and your forces thin, kind of having them running between hut palace and hut palace, and just kind of spread them all over and kind of see where. I gotta just have them pretty much stationed everywhere. So if something happens somewhere, you or one of your forces can know, and you can kind of have them report back.
Yeah, that's probably what Val would try is pick a few targets they're going to try to hit, put some forces there. Yeah, so I'll do the athletics.
Perfect. Give me an athletics roll.
All right.
I gotta say, it'd be so funny if Val explained this plan to this big boss Granick, and then for the next couple days was right next to him the entire time.
So you guys are all well with your D20s. Hopefully better with your D100s. Yeah, plus 15 on that side. So yeah, Val, you spread your forces out. Like you have those the hut forces, Nictos, Weekways, Trudosians, just kind of running all over hut palace to hut palace. You do actually find a couple of your guys. Well, it's kind of a mix of what you find. Some of you guys don't report back, and you hear some tragedies. Some of you guys do report back, and you find some of these hidden Yuzon Vong forces that they're able to sniff out. But one of the big things you learn is like they've been kind of building up. So they were targeting some of the lesser huts, but now they're going after Big Boss Granick. And Big Boss Granick, they're not going to take him out. He's the head of the family. They're going after the Silgic clan, one of the leading clans of the huts, and they're trying to kill off some of their lesser members to let them know they are an untouchable as well. So the big boss is safe, but some of the lesser family members are definitely in danger. But luckily, with kind of your spread out approach, you're able to kind of filter that information in, get yourself a little bit of a leg up, and get yourself prepared and ready to strike, defend, and make sure the employer survives. So, how does Val react to that?
So Val would kind of explain to Boss Granick, Val has determined the targets by putting the forces in the most valuable positions. And then he'll like look around and realize that he actually didn't have anyone protect Granick. And you say, oh, of course, boss, you could handle your own security. And he'd say, but it looks like they are targeting your clan.
You see Granick, like, as you kind of like, he's still like chain smoking a cigar, so just like really puffing it more than he should be. And he almost starts chewing it as you mentioned he has no security, and he goes, no, they wouldn't attack me, right? Like I'm the big boss, right? They wouldn't attack me.
You are an honorable man. Why would they attack you?
I don't know. You say how Val reacts to this, but no insight roll necessary. You see his eyes bulge, like he's like has a cigar like half out of his mouth. His jaw kind of like falls a little bit. He goes, yeah, honorable. People say that all the time. Yeah.
No, actually means that.
You're gonna find these Griffins, though. You're gonna make sure we're okay. You first off, hey, you went behind enemy lines, you killed them, head cut off, bloody message, Griffin amazing. But if they come back and do the same thing, it's copycatting. But hey, it's gonna make us look bad. So you gotta like smother this in its nest, if you know what I mean.
Val is the hunter of hunters. I know how to lead men. You can tell, like, all of a sudden his confidence is gone.
Like you saw, like same thing, no insight roll necessary. You saw like Granick, like he Hunter of Hunters, you see him like kind of like buff back up, and as he sees like your like lack of like confidence, he goes, I know how to lead men. He kind of like deflates a bit. He goes, yeah, okay, yeah. Just do a real good job. Like, just hunt them out. If you need more men, let me know. Just we can't have this. We need like morale high. This is like you know what propaganda is, right? Like you were part of propaganda, but if this is like goes bad, we're gonna be propaganda.
Val does not understand propaganda. There's honor, and then there's no honor.
So we're not gonna have no honor if they kill all of our weaker clan members. You know, yeah, you're strong, right? You're the strongest I know.
Val is strong.
But if they kill our weak people, we're all weak.
But then we will still be strong. Just the weak ones will die. That is how it works.
But they'll think the strong ones are weak. They'll think you're weak because you can save them.
Boss Granick, you are a smart man. If there are no weak ones, then how can we be the strong ones? That is deep.
Yeah, you got like you see like he gets like you hear his tail thump in the distance. Hey, we're on the same page. All right, yeah. So you find them, kill them, make an example of them. Do what you do. But yeah, they can't kill none of us.
He's just gonna go to a map and point randomly. Be like, Boss Granick, I have found them. Let's take the forces there. He's gonna go.
I want to
He's
say
just
so-
straight chain. Like he has like gone like cigars usually take like an hour or so. Like he has gone through like 3 cigars at the time of you spoken with him. But yeah, he lets you go. So with
real
this
fast, can I
Valvars,
bring
there is
something
still
up?
on the station dice. You guys, we both are going up against the Yuzon Vong. Val, do you want to roll now, or do you want to see what Vars is going up against?
I still have to do my D100. I don't know.
You did, yeah. D100 then up, yeah.
Is that
and
the first
a
time
22
Boss
is like
Granick
15.
What's that?
has ever? Is that the first time Boss Granick has ever seen Vars not confident in himself for something?
Oh, Val, yeah. I don't know, Val. Is
Sorry,
that the first
Var-
time Val has seen Granick has seen Val not 100%, 110% confident in himself?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Granick is shook. Like he is smoking his cigar. He's always smoking and drinking. Like you never really see him not do that. But he is not like fun smoking and drinking right now. He is just like he is chain smoking, like chugging his drinks. He is yelling at his staff to get him more. Like, it's not the best sight. All right, 59. Oh, what is that? All right. So, fortunately, yeah, D100's not favoring you guys so far today. But you get to re-roll one of your D10s. You get 4 D10s. It's going to be up against some Vongs 9 D10, but you get to re-roll one.
I'll let Vars go here. We'll do the dice at the end.
All right. So, Vars, well, Malachi got to deal with the shapers and the kind of scientists and the poisoners, and while Val got to deal with the intendants, the spies, the assassins, the executors, you get to deal with the warriors. The warrior caste is coming for the Mandalorians. You see in Vars, you probably get like a report from the Mandalorians, but you're part of their daily report where you kind of see different updates and what's going on in the war effort, the different strategies that the Mandalorians are employing, the Yuzon Vong are employing. But you see that there's been a big, just kind of build up, kind of along this, kind of the border of Yuzon Vong space and Mandalorian space, and it's just kind of continuously building up. You see more and more and more of these Yuzon Vong like frigates, these asteroids, these coral skippers, kind of building along this lane, and you kind of see the Mandalorians are getting nervous. Like they knew that there was a attack coming, but this is just almost ridiculous with how much forces are coming and kind of how much is at stake with that. But with that, you find that they are making their way kind of towards Terrace. The Yuzon Vong are invading the Terrace sector, and you kind of find from actually the Mandalore himself. Usually you have your own contact, but Mandalore the Exalted, and we all know Vars has some mixed opinions on Mandalore. The Exalted, his name alone probably doesn't really endear him to Vars. But you see this Mandalorian appear on your hollow screen, immaculate armor, like Beskar Garm, complete through Beskar, but you do see has like the silver, gold, and red motif to it. And he appears and he goes, Vars. And kind of like his voice is like he's in his armor, augmented by his helmet, so it has that kind of almost artificial tang to it. And he goes, "We need your assistance. Scarheads are moving towards Terrace. We cannot allow them to take an inch from us. My politics may not be your politics, but I would like to put you in command of a unit, and I would like you to help defend Terrace and defend Mandalorian space from these Scarheads." You see him like wrap his hands across his metal. And he goes, "This is the way. Bleed them, make them pay. Let them know that. While they may be warriors, with the galaxy's true warriors. Sith, Jedi, Hutts, everyone's fallen before the Mandalorian onslaught."
So we'll move on.
You see, kind of see him wrap again, signs off. They do provide you with kind of your own little Mandalorian kind of group, a little fleet, along with some warriors to kind of protect the terrorist sector. And terrorists, the Mandalorians have taken it over. The terrorists are still recovering from events 2,000 years in the past. It is still recovering from Revan's onslaught. It's not the most habitable place, but it is a good spot for making weapons and making things that if you don't give a crap about the environment, why wouldn't you make it an environment that's already criffed? And that's what the Mandalorians have done. This place is it's devastated, so they've just used it for their own needs. So they've got a lot of their Beskar refinement, their weapon making, their even some of their own shipyards are out at Terrace because it's the best spot if you need to get some raw materials and make something out there. That's where to do it. Vars, with your own little kind of your own command, we'll say, how does Vars kind of approach this? How does he prepare for the defense of Terrace?
Meet strength with strength.
Oh, I can hear you on mute, I think.
Mustering their force.
You got it. You're faint.
One moment. Let me see if I can adjust something here to make me a bit louder. How's
Perfect.
this? All right. With that being said, Vars will meet strength with strength. They're obviously gearing up for an attack. He's not going to give them a chance to get situated. Make them dig in their heels and fight to keep that space versus giving them a chance to get on the offensive. And obviously, hit and run, goad them, if you will, into a position that'd be more advantageous to our fleet.
Perfect. All right. So with that, yeah. So you kind of see them building up kind of along the edges of Yuzon Vong and Mandalorian space. And for anybody or for the players and anybody that's looking on their own galactic map, I think Terrace is what, in 6 or in 7? In 7, it looks like. For the space on that side, you guys see them building up along this border over there. So yeah, you're able to kind of and actually have you decide what you want to do. So you've got 3 options in here. Deception, with you kind of going into the Mandalorian space, kind of harassing them, almost what's the word I'm looking for? So hit and run tactics. There's a word for it I'm blanking on right now. Guerrilla warfare. So thank you. Yeah, guerrilla warfare. As you kind of go through and kind of hit and kind of try to draw them out. So you can kind of use deception to see if you can kind of spread their lines too thin. Perception, if you want to kind of find where the best spots in their lines may be, to kind of use those strikes to really just draw them out and see kind of how much havoc you can create. Or actually, for this one, I'll let you pick the third one. How would Vars use his own skills to see how much he can kind of prepare the terrorist fleet for defense, or how much he can kind of draw out and disorient the Yuzon Vong fleet in their offensive?
I feel like I'd be gaming it if I tried to go with athletics, because that's my best skill. But essentially, a relentless onslaught, if you will. Not giving him a chance to, it's just wave after wave after wave after wave. And just using his determination and grit to stay laser focused to make sure that everything goes as it should go.
Perfect. So with that, I'll give you your choice of either survival or intimidation for the third set.
Okay. In that case, I think I'll go with survival.
All right.
And
Okay.
Mandalorians known for their grit and ability to survive. Oh,
Not that much. I can't throw in any of my modifiers on this sucker, huh?
The only thing that you would be able to apply is what's it called? The human thing. Defiant.
Design. Yeah. Hell yeah. I'm defiant.
Is
I'm defiant all the way
inspiration
through.
usable in this?
What's that?
Is inspiration usable in this?
Oh yeah. So inspiration is usable for this. You guys have 3.
Okay.
I'd say go for the inspiration.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try to get it over a 15. Yeah.
Nice. All right.
All right. I'll live with a 16. Where does that get me?
Yeah. So you like just pure onslaught, like you are sending Mandalorians out riding their basilisk, single man fighters, frigates, like just continuously harassing the Yuzon Vong. And the Yuzon Vong, they're warrior born too, but you're just like you're literally stressing them out. Like you are keeping them constantly, like you're not letting them sleep, you're not letting them prepare. You're just literally disrupting their supply lines, their fleet lines, and just keeping them in a constant state of alert that is kind of like throwing off their own game plan as they prepare for their own invasion.
All right.
Sweet. Vars, give me a D100 roll plus now. Oh, that extra 4, 15. Or sorry, 10.
Okay.
There we go. We actually got a decent D100 roll here.
Hey.
Sweet. So Vars, actually, I'll let you describe like kind of how the success looks for you. But you're able to harass them. They can't sleep. They can't think. You are just literally bombarding them. You've stretched out their fleet lines. They are not really prepared for an invasion of terrorists as much as they should be with their overwhelming force. With an 81 or 80, whatever it was, 84, you get a additional faction dice. So now you get to roll 5d10 and you get to re-roll 1.
Nice.
But how does Vars do all that? How does he like kind of get his forces into preparation?
Well, you know what? I'm gonna maybe plant the seed for something in the future. Who knows? Vars just leads from the front, from example, just relentless, doing his best to inspire his men to goad these warriors, so to speak, appealing to their need for combat. He knows that they can barely control themselves, and they want to fight. They want to fight so bad, and just giving them what they want.
Nice. Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
No, please continue.
I'd say, Vars, you've one of the people that fought the Yuzon Vong for the longest in the galaxy. Yeah, you know the warriors are not just overconfident, they are bloodthirsty. And yet you feed into that, causing them to overextend themselves, causing them to not disobey orders, but kind of push orders to the farthest extent they could actually still be obeyed, and putting them in a pretty sloppy position. Like they will chase as far as they can, and you guys know where those ranges are, and you're able to capitalize off of it. And with that, it puts you in a really good position. So with that, Vars, you've rolled. Val, you have rolled as well. You guys do have to find the station dice. So this isn't a D10, but it will be a D8. Same thing though, 6 and above, a success. You could lend the weight of the Tefanda station, recently reinforced by the Hutts and some Aroidium Mutts support as well. Mandalorians or Hutts?
Considering that it was the Hutts' idea in general, it would make sense for them to receive that support, at least initially.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think. So Val, he probably would calm Vars and just be like, "Oh, Val is the hunter of hunter, the greatest bladesman through the galaxy. But how do I get men to do competent things?"
This is canonically during the same time Vars is doing his stuff with the Mandalorians right now.
Oh yeah,
right?
definitely.
Oh my god.
The hell? You I don't know. You command respect and you tell them what you need from them, and they'll do what you need. Why don't you put the mercs that we just got for the Huts to use? They know you. They're aware of you. Sounds like you're dealing with some stuff over there on Nalhutta.
Yes, Val shall call them. Yes.
All right. Best of luck.
Val does not need luck.
Yeah, take it anyway. And with that, Vars will just sign off. Like, what the hell, that crazy cat?
So yeah, as Vars is out here leading his daring hit and run campaign against the Vong, eventually the Iridium Mutts do make their way to Nalhutta, supporting their new paymasters and coming to reinforce Val in his efforts. Captain Anama's Vin kind of works alongside Val, kind of helping him provide a little extra organization. He's not trying to take over Val's spot or anything like that, but he's like, hey, maybe we should send some people over here. What do you think, Val?
Yeah. Val just agrees with everything, but he just wants him to know that it was Val's idea. Yes, Val believes that is a very good idea. That is why Val suggested it.
Yeah. You see, Sven, he's like, you're right. You did suggest that. That's right. Let's send these guys over that way. But with that, you do have the Iridium Mutt support. So roll me 4d10, reroll 1d10, and add 1d8 as well.
All right. So 4d10, 1d8. All right. Here we go.
Nice.
3. Not bad. And then re-roll a d10.
4. Yeah, so re-roll a d10.
Okay.
Oh shit! Val got all of them as successes.
Nice.
That's
Solid. 2 10s too. So 10s count as 2. So what's that? Successes?
1, 2. 10s count as 2?
Yeah.
So that's
so 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that really 7?
yeah.
Nice.
Val is the hunter of hunters.
Yeah, the hunt. That random spot. Oh, that's a lot of 10s. 1.
So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But luckily, less than 7. So Val, this is true spy versus spy. This is Cold War level of hunting out people who are trying to do harm. And people think you may have a sixth sense, or it just could be dumb luck. Who knows? But you point at spots on the map, and they're wrong there. Trying to do crift up things, and some people think you have the people are debating now if you have a connection to the Force because they truly think you're just pointing at random, and there's things there.
Yeah, people probably think he's really poised, and he's just trying to pretend like he knows what he's talking about.
Is Granick does Granick feel more secure, or is he stressed out more?
Two different people have different reactions. Granick believes a little bit of Val's hype. Val has like done things like Greg has sent Val on death missions and he's come back. So Val, Greg believes a little bit of Val's hype, and especially like he's like, if he points over there, you go over there. He believes it. Captain Onama from the Roydian Mutts is just astonishingly pissed. Like, this goes against conventionally military wisdom. It goes against like everything Onama has like practiced throughout his life, but that it worked. So he's shocked and angry. But he's still like he's supporting Val throughout this. But Val, what's the big finale? How does Val catch the one that was supposed to kill the Desilject closest to Big Boss Granite?
Yeah, so the final one, Val would lead. And so he'd be like, yes, Val shall lead this one personally. And then he shows up and he's more surprised than anyone when it's like literally like a meeting of like the agents as he stumbles into the building. And so he'll like have a grand duel with one of the Yusong Vong.
Nice. You have that grand duel, like it is recorded, like thrown on the HoloNet. Like the Yusong Vong puts up a good fight. His Alpha Staff whirls, tries to kind of lock you up, tries to like use their usual tactics of blinding you, throwing razor bugs to cut you. But how do you finish that fight? How do you cement kind of your position here?
Yeah, so he'll come up like he'll come in with like a razor blade, and I'll kind of like twist through the air to dodge it, and then as I land, kind of my signature, impale him through the heart and bring him to the ground.
Nice. Straight through the heart, cutting right through his armor. You bring him to the ground, displayed across hut space, showing Val, the hunter of hunters, protecting now Hutta, which you spend enough time with the Hutts, you know, is the glorious jewel, their home planet, and protecting hut space for the Desilject clan, earning both Big Boss Granite's increasing respect and kind of admiration, and just pure astonishment from the Roydian Mutts, and with your we'll say unorthodox tactics.
Val is a Looney Tunes character, and I love that.
Perfect. Vards, you are up. Roll me up. You actually did pretty well with your roll, so you get to add 5 d10 and 1 reroll. All right, so 3 successes. Oh, 1 reroll too.
And
All right.
Oh no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Fortunately, like Vars, you executed your strategy beforehand perfectly, stretching out the Yusong Vong supply line, kind of penetrating their fleet, just really just utilizing their own warrior spirit against them. But unfortunately, the Yusong Vong, where the Mandalorians, the Minion, hell, even the Republic has to worry about morale, keeping their fleets, keeping their numbers up, the Yusong Vong seem more than willing to just throw lives at a grinder. And that's what they did at Terrace. You see them just continuously throwing ship after ship, soldier after soldier, just life after life at Terrace. And while the Mandalorians killed far more than they should have, unfortunately they were pushed back, pushed out of the space. And while Vars, you've earned yourself a good deal of respect, and 2 successes for the Mandalorian clan. Unfortunately, they do lose Terrace, and the group is overall pushed out of the space.
Why do I feel like even a Vong Pyrrhic victory is like a decisive victory for them? That definitely is.
I mean, let's think about this. They took Terrace. It was already screwed. So
It's a weapon manufacturer for the
I mean,
for the
uh,
Mandalorians. So
but don't worry, you're friends with the Sith. So.
yeah. Damn it. Well,
they definitely took more than an inch.
You definitely kind of see kind of across the HoloNet. Eventually, you kind of utilizing some of their exchange contacts. They put out like their own declaration, and because the Mandalorians they've got like that warriors like the Mandalorians outside of their use of technology are probably the ones that Vong respect the most, because they're not using something they don't understand the Force. They fight hard, they fight brutally. The Vong respect them, and they definitely rub salt in the wound when they are able to kind of take that victory over the Vong and broadcast throughout the HoloNet that Terrace once belonged to the Mandalorians, now belongs to the Yuuzhan Vong. But with that,
damn.
well, actually, Vars. Does Vars have any last thoughts for Vars as that all goes down?
What are the options for a counterattack?
Definitely. So you do have another week of downtime. So with that, you guys all have one extra week, which you could spend on things for yourself, things for the group faction, things for your own faction. And yeah, counterattack could definitely be a part of that. You could try to attack the Yuuzhan Vong again. Unfortunately, this won't have to find the stations. Resources won't be available for the second week. So this will be either your own faction, your own stuff, or the group faction. Or sorry, not the group faction. Your own faction or your own stuff. Do the Mandalorians want to strike back?
I mean, I know Vars does.
All right.
Is there any chance that he could reach out to the bit of the Republic that said, we're going to keep fighting?
Oh, you want to reach out to the rebellion?
Yeah.
So you could definitely reach out to the rebellion. They may not be able to assist with this strike back, but that could definitely be an upline mission for the group for the next overall adventure, and see if you can bring them into the fold, and see if you can add their strength to your own.
All right.
And let me phrase it in game terms too. So it kind of be an either or, unfortunately. So you could kind of see if you can kind of build those relations. You know a lot of the players for the rebellion. You've served along with them during their time with the Republic and Vars' stint with the old group. You could try to see if you can kind of build that diplomatic relationship and see if you can kind of bring that into an upline adventure and kind of see if you can kind of forge that in further. Or you can kind of strike back at Terrace and see if you can kind of bring that down.
Hell. I'm mad about the loss. Oh, man. But
Take Terrace back.
yeah. Yeah, all right. I'll give it a go. The hell with it. Lick our wounds. Go back into it.
Sweet.
See you guys next week.
So, Vars, how are you? So, I'll let you pick from the 3 skills you'd want to pick from on this side. How are you kind of organizing the fleet? How are you really bringing this home, or trying to get the fleet motivated, or how are you striking out? What are you doing to pump this up? No, actually, I'll be right back.
Oof. Things to think about. How could I make this about athletics? That's all I got going. At least when it comes to skills.
Yeah,
Um,
possibly
do-
building up ground troops and whatnot, getting those organized and
the
prepared.
athletics check would be to push a skyscraper over on a Vong base.
Yeah, just run into it. It's like a battering ram.
I
Mhm.
For some reason,
gotta ask Tegan what the date range on this game is, because if it happens to fall within a certain time frame, I got ideas. Because you guys are on stage right now.
Yeah. I think this
And
is
suddenly you're fighting Yuzong Vong and Rackles.
Oh, two things I
Well-
should mention on this side too. So you guys all have a week of downtime now. So if anybody did want to add their own faction resources to VARs, they'd be able to do so. Also, VARs, as I was leaving the bathroom, I heard you mention athletics. One of the things the Mandalorians are known to do in this universe are steal ships from their Beskar arm. So steal ships outside of a ship. So try to steal some, steal or disable some Yuzon Vong ships. Extra gravity. Cause athletics.
I mean, yeah, that's one of the things we could do. I mean, that or, lead the ground forces, because let's be real, Vars likes ground under his feet. So, either stealing ships or ground forces. You tell me, Tegan, which would make more sense here.
Both work.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do both. Hell yeah. All right. I'll give you that athletics roll.
All right.
yeah, the idea of stealing a ship immediately reminds me of the shaped Rancor we had to fight way back.
Just coming out swinging, huh?
Please use an inspiration for that. You do not want to take that one loss.
You guys do have
Yeah,
4.
All right. I'll eat one if that's okay with everybody.
Yeah. Oh wait,
All
we
right,
gained
I
one.
want to refresh the page because VTTs are funny like that.
They are.
Yeah, it's like, I've rolled a 1 15 times. Wow, really random. Okay. So let's try this. Round 2. And heck of a lot better than 1.
All right. So it sounds like Vars would probably rather be on the ground forces.
Oh, hell yes.
Yeah. So Vars, I'll let you decide how you get your people on the ground. But yeah, you infiltrate with some commando squads, some like old school Mandalorian super commandos. You get on the ground and you guys just start wrecking havoc. The Vong haven't been able to completely secure Terrace in the days between the two assaults. You get down, you guys know the ground, you're able to start just laying waste. Vars, how does your crew get down there, and what do they do when they're down there?
Well, I mean, might as well leverage what happened between this game and the last one. The Besselis.
Oh yeah?
Hell yeah. Riding them all the way down, wreaking havoc on the already wrecked planet.
The thing is, you guys riding those basilisks down, like, it's two purposes on the side. It just, and actually, two purposes, and kind of fits your strategy from the first Battle of Terrace. It pisses the Vong off,
Piss them off.
makes them sloppy, and lets you guys come through and just lay waste.
Mhm.
All right, Vars. With that, roll me a D100 plus 10? Yeah, plus 10. All right. So that is a 1 reroll on that side. So roll me 4d10 plus 1d, or reroll 1d10. Oof.
So maybe I should have saved that inspo for here. Good grief. All right. And then, hey, that's not helpful. All right.
That
It looks like this is a tail between the legs kind of a situation.
that's a single success.
Oh, yeah.
One, two, three, Poor
The Vong,
things.
you catch them off guard with the basilisk, but it just like inflames them, and they just come and they come and they come, and eventually they. You guys fight hard. The Mandalorians fight well, but unfortunately, the Vong just have more resources. And while you're trying to retake Terrace, they push you guys back off again.
All right. Well, that was a week well spent.
Good thing is you still get, because would you roll? So you do get, let me mark that down so I don't forget. So you have gotten 2 successes for the Mandalorians. Or 3 successes for the Mandalorians. You got an 81 the first time. 9, you get to do, so you'd go from 4d10 to 5d10 for the Mandalorians.
Okay.
Sweet. C4. Looks like you guys want to go next.
Yep. On a more positive note than Vong Wars, C4 wants to improve our own faction, the Defonda Station's reputation a little bit. Remind me, I assume Defonda Station is not a secret to the galaxy, right?
It's not though. So even before you guys had your first mission, Zerka started promoting the hell out of you guys. They definitely like you. Pretty much Zerga cares level advertisement for Tafanda Station, but especially since you guys have actually done something pretty monumental, converting the Roydian Mutts to the factions, killing the Commander Pretvel. Tafanda Station's known. It's not like no small fries right now, but definitely small fries have done something.
Yeah, so C4 is going to be making a small mini documentary that can even be cut down to commercial length if necessary to be played throughout the galaxy. Basically, any place that plays Zerka commercials to kind of improve the reputation of the Fonda Station and to kind of bring hope to the hearts of people. And, promote Zerka, of course. With C4 acting as like the guide through the Fonda Station, taking them through all the different stations and rooms of it, all the people who have joined thus far, and possibly if he can grab the people, even if it's through holocall or something like that, a little interview with each of the main members here, Val, Vars, and Malachi.
So that'll be performance or persuasion. Do have to ask though, Val, Vars, Malachi, would any of you guys respond to C4's advertisement? Or a request for advertisement speak?
Knowing that C4 is likely not the most honest droid, I don't think he would frame it as an interview.
For legal purposes, he must in this case.
Yeah. Okay. Right, the litigation.
Yeah. Unfortunately for him, on the field, yeah, man. But this is going to be witnessed by a lot of people. He's got to stick to the law.
Malachi would less do an interview and more like, let's say, as you approach with the holo recorder and you're walking towards him with this proposal, you just see anything that's around him, be it a chair, some furniture, some trash, it doesn't matter. The storm that you've witnessed already starts whirling around him as he is just pissed at even your presence in the audacity that you would even ask him to do anything for you to help you, and you get all that on a recording. So
he's going to use that as like Malachi's rage at the Vong.
Exactly. That's my intent here. But on the flip side, Malachi is just absolutely done with you at the moment until something changes that. But you get the whirling storm, the lightning, purples and blues and flashing whites and just all that. And before the camera kind of cuts out, it's just shit flying at you.
At some time during this week, C4 is going to send you a apology letter that's absolutely generated by some kind of artificial intelligence, not written by himself, which is ironic because he himself is a droid.
Chat GPT.
As well, yeah, yeah, pretty much.
HGPTs.
As well as an apology gift, which is a set of glass eyes, which I think is just out of character. I think it's just as insulting as
Oh my
the
god!
credits.
Oh my god! I might kill you. I hope you have a second character.
I have a couple in mind just in case. C4 is a very antagonistic character, but Val, how would Val's reaction be to C4 asking for an interview?
Val is always willing to talk about Val.
And instantly I know there's a director's cut posted of like an uninterrupted 5-hour interview with just Val.
From one question.
You get up and walk out, and he's still talking.
It's just, what is your favorite color?
I feel like C4 at some point is a little exasperated, but that kind of gets pulled into Val's story at some point. Damn, is this real? Fact checking it, it's he actually did that?
Yeah. I probably Val confirmed it or not, but I probably feel like he spent a lot of his time talking about his recent exploits on Nalhetta. How he just pointed to a spot on the map, found the ball, killed the guy, stabbed him through the heart, saved the day.
Yeah, so that's definitely getting put in the documentary. Any particular catchphrase from Val?
Oh, I think we're gonna go with the Hunter of Hunters.
Hunter of Hunters.
Yep. You can't give yourself a title, and I mean it was given to me.
Given straight from the big boss Granick from the Huts. The title Hunter of Hunters. And then finally C4 approaching Vars, who's likely still on mid-war during this, or this could possibly be nearing the end of the week where the Battle Fatalis is dead and done. How would Vars' reaction be to C4 asking for an interview?
You want a what?
An interview! You know, a discussion to show the galaxy what you're made of. I mean, a lot of people already know about you. The man who brought the Basilisk down for the Mandalorians. But this right here will be going to civilian broadcasting. A lot of people are going to see and hear this, and I've already gotten an exclusive from Val, as well as a brief interview with Malachi to get his exact feelings on the situation.
Malachi? He talked to you?
Oh, no.
Well, fine. This might actually help me. So sure.
Alright. And with that, you said persuasion check, Tegan?
Yeah. While you're rolling, Vars, what type of message does Vars convey throughout this interview?
I would say it's definitely one of determination. I don't know, maybe Vars is just stupid, but all right, well, we lost, but we're not dead. Wars don't just always go one way. This might be a bad time now, but pulling together, aiding each other against this common enemy will be what gets us, will be what beats them. They took the time to try to fragment us because they know that they cannot beat us if we are united. And just kind of that sort of a message.
Perfect. I can see it now, the title. The Founder Station, the Galaxy United.
Yeah,
I guess that works, actually.
See, I'm useful to have around.
It's still very recent, droid. Don't push.
He does not actually push me. Like,
Yes.
normally they'd be equipped or something. He holds his tongue. He's like, yep.
I don't know if you're doing this for personal gain or whatever the case may be, but this can help us. The galaxy as a whole, I mean.
I live in this galaxy. I'd rather not see it taken over by those who would destroy everything.
Well, specifically you. But yeah.
Perfect. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm done.
Sweet. So you guys, C4, you're able to pretty expertly get a good, like, what do they call it? It's not a propaganda film. What they used to call it back in the day. There's a name for it. It's not propaganda film, but
Documentary?
kind of. There's a name for it. I'm forgetting right now. It's like a wartime film. It's propaganda, but not propaganda. But between showing the fury of Malachi unleashed, the crackling of the storms, the swirling of debris, the true fury of the dark side, hearing of Val's numerous accomplishments from his recent on Now Hutta, to whatever came to Val's mind that day during his interview, to hearing about Var's determination, even in the face of the loss of Terrace, the unrelenting resolve of the Mandalorians, you get a pretty solid video. So with that too, especially with all the group contributing, so you got a 24, you're gonna get 15. But since the whole group kind of added something to it, you can add a D10 as well to your D100 roll. So roll that through and see how you do.
All right. So, D100. Oh, and the D10? 91!
Sweet. So you get one faction dice, so a D10, plus one D10 reroll. For this, you just need 3 successes, and you're able to bump up.
All right. So, what is the R faction dice?
Oh, just sorry, 1d10.
1d10?
So it'd be 5. With this, you guys doing it for so you'd be able to use your Zerka resources to help out here. So it'd be 5d10.
All right. 5d10. Let's give it a roll. A 2, one of those 2 is a 10, so that's 3 successes.
Yep. Sweet.
And there was 1 reroll, right?
1 reroll.
Let's see it. Hey, 4. 4 successes.
So from your D100 roll, you get 2 successes towards Stefan the Station, kind of helping enhance the group's own faction, kind of bringing out just more opportunities for success for the group now that they're more well known. But also with the overall D100 roll, this propaganda, this video, it spreads far and wide, even into the Republic, and you start to see kind of respect, as well as kind of desire to keep fighting on, the desire to unleash your fury, the desire to kind of believe in yourself, even with the skills you possess, and to keep on fighting even when the odds are against you, kind of pervades the galaxy.
I would hope this would also give a boost to Zerka's. Well, C4 would hope this also gives a boost to Zerka sales.
Yeah, so it won't be a Zerka faction boost, but it definitely does give a boost to Zerka sales. I feel like every other second, it's probably probably like a lot of like mini ads through there. It's like one of those things like C4 would talk for a bit, Val would talk for a bit, Vars would talk for a bit, Malachi would destroy for a bit, and then it'd be like a Zerka promotion. And then back into the show, Zerka promotion. It's like every 15 seconds, probably a Zerka promotion.
Yep.
And then like running Zerka ads on the bottom of the screen.
Oh, 100%.
Just,
Yeah.
yeah.
Perfect. So you guys have gotten your first 2 advancement die for your own faction. You just need 7 more, and you can boast up to a new. Actually, you guys already have a half die on that side, so you guys just need what's half of 9. So we'll round down 2 more, and you guys are able to boost your guys up to a D10 for your own faction. They'll be able to add to whatever you guys are doing. Malachi Val, you are up, and so before we go to Malachi Val. I did have 3 missions I wanted to present to you guys. Fortunately, I ran a little bit late. I will throw those into the chat. Also, everybody, I know a couple of you guys responded. Are you guys all good to play next week too?
Yep, I am.
Sweet. Perfect. So we'll dive into whatever the mission you guys pick next week. Same thing as before. It'll have some kind of relevance to the war effort, some rewards, and things like that you can kind of bring to bear. But Val, Malachi, what are you guys doing for your downtime?
So Val is actually buying into this whole Tafana Station team effort, despite himself. And so he wants to spend the week, I don't know how mechanically this would impact, but building out a sigil for Tafana Station. To just like essentially just paint a sigil. And out of game, if anyone's like, I'm not a person, but if anyone actually wanted to do something to represent, I think that'd be kind of cool. But in game, we'll do.
I might be able to put something together.
That'd be perfect. So, Val, I don't know if you have any thoughts, but what are you thinking for kind of how that sigil would look?
I'm gonna defer to Burger on what that. If he has any, I don't want to put you on the spot, but maybe we can talk about it next week too, or whatever. But so it'll just be something that the members can wear, and so he'll see the Erodium Mutts and how they've got kind of a symbol to galvanize and identify them, and he'll feel that we should have something else for Tafana Station as we go about the exploits.
It could be like little loops, like circles of the sigils of each faction that are kind of interlocked with each other.
Definitely.
Oh, I like that.
Sweet. We'll figure that portion out. But Val, how does Val go about creating this art? Is he like, because I forgot how Val painted last time, but is he doing this more from like performance end? Is he trying to persuade the people of the galaxy? Is he just kind of like throwing paint aggressively at the thing and kind of seeing what shakes out of the picture? How does Val go about creating his art?
Yeah, so his artwork is always very, very detail orientated. It's extremely fine and pointed, and so it kind of combines kind of larger swaying loops with more very detailed like pigmentation as he goes through. So he'll use that same kind of art style as he goes through to kind of to sketch it out.
Perfect. So
I will say I'm only so good of an artist. I will do my best.
It'll be better than I can do.
Got this. Yes. Sweet. So with that, I'll say you got your choice of kind of performance, sleight of hand, or maybe even persuasion as you kind of try to build this evocative art.
We'll go sleight of hand on this one.
17, nice.
Right.
Sweet. So roll me a D100 plus 15 or plus 10.
Whoop, that's not it. All right.
right. So 59. So you get one success as well as one re-roll of the D10 as well. So roll me forward D10, kind of representing the kind of the hot resources you bring to bear in building this out. Same thing as before. 3 successes will net you another success. So 3 successes of the D10 will net you another success for the faction.
All right, so 40, 10. Go. Oh, nice. So there's 3, and then do a re-roll. I don't think it can impact any. Maybe. All right, so 3.
Sweet. You guys have earned your first D10 for the Tefanda Station faction die, and kind of cemented you guys as your own faction. With that, too, you guys were able to pick one premium expendable of your choice. So it's expendable, so it must be something that you use it once, it's gone. So whether it be explosion, whatever it be, health, whatever it is, you guys get to pick that as your Tefanda Stations, expanded their own resources, and kind of hooked up their patrons. And now has their own little sick logo too. Sweet. As we wrap up, last but not least, Malachi, what do you do for your last week?
Malachi is going to take advantage of the hut's back channels. Part of his thing, and stated in session 1 too, is just his endeavor to find more power. So not only for the Dominion, but also for himself, and especially for himself. Again, referring to his past and just the current losses that he's suffered. So leading up to this point, he's sucked up his pride, and he will seek the assistance of the huts and see what artifacts that they might have. So I am specifically looking, because we can now circumvent the whole searching for the enhanced item, right? We can just, I don't know, jump directly to it. How does that work for us in the downtime?
Definitely. So you guys no longer have to pay the cost of the 500, whatever it is, of finding the item, or go through the DC to find it was a prototype or below items. So basically, what you do is you roll kind of whatever it is, investigation, perception, whatever it is, investigation, perception, or insight, your choice, to kind of see kind of what type of bonus you get to finding it. But then you'd roll your D100, and that'd be kind of the price range of whatever item you find.
Okay, so I will do insight, see what we get.
Sweet. So you get a plus, what you got, 15 plus 10 there. Nice.
Dang!
Wow.
Sweet. So you find a kind of a seller asking for. So we'll say you get your choice on this one. Do you find a shady seller asking for half the item's value, no question asked? Or do you get someone that's offering you a 20% discount off of the item's true value?
Well, when I'm looking at the item, I want to ensure that it is quality and is what I want. And I would be generous for a true artifact. So I suppose I would take neither if there's a way that I could ensure that it is a, like I said, a true artifact.
Well, the 20% guy, you definitely know his stuff is legit.
Okay.
The shady guy is really not letting you get a good look. It's a toss-up.
Okay. Well, I guess that makes the choice very easy. I will go with the 20% guy. And the specific artifact that I would be looking for would be the Circlet of Persistence. But I guess we could reflavor that as maybe some other type of artifact. It could be something that I could adorn on my head or add to my mask, maybe. But it's a prototype and specific to the consular.
Perfect. Roll me 2d10 plus 1 times 2,500.
Sorry, that was 2d10 and then what?
So 2d10, keep the highest of the 2d10, and then plus 1, then times 2,500. And for if you want to reference, it's in table rules with our enhanced item costs.
Okay.
So what's that? 8. So 9 times 2,500.
And then with 20% off as well?
Yep.
Okay. Times 0.2. So that's that'd be 22,500 minus 4,500. So down to 18,500. So 18,000 credits. Cool. Yeah, I fork over that money. Let me look at our chat real quick. I've got 19,625 credits. Down to 1,625.
Nice.
I'm happy.
There we go.
Perfect. We were able to acquire. Oh, go ahead.
The best thing is that this is legit why I've been holding on to all these credits just for this moment.
Perfect. We were able to acquire kind of the rare force kind of artifact and enhance your own connection to the dark side. With that, the group finishes their downtime session, and what we'll do is we'll post into the chat kind of what options you guys have for your next uptime adventure. There's going to be 3. So last time we got to hear from the Hutts and the Dominion. So this time it will be the Mandalorians and Zerka. And same thing as last time, there'll be an unaffiliated one as well that you guys can choose from. So I will post that in probably tomorrow morning into the chat. You guys get a vote on that, and then next Tuesday we'll dive into whatever that adventure is.
Nice.
Sweet.
I really liked the faction adventures, I should say. This was really cool.
Oh, thanks, man. I'm glad you guys I wasn't sure about it for a while, but I thought it'd be kind of a fun way to see what's going on in the galaxy and how you guys can impact it too.
A little frustrating, but fun.
Yeah, you did not have the best rolls.
Yeah, that was your best one, and oh boy, oh well. Say la vie.
Bars, hopefully you got it next time. Mandalorians can come back with a vengeance.
I hope so, man. Yowza.
Perfect. Well, thanks everybody for hanging out. Come back next Tuesday, a little bit earlier, 7 p.m. Eastern time. We'll get into the next adventure. Thanks for hanging out. Until next time, everybody.